In today's busy world, going to the video store is a hassle. With Netflix, you just make a list of the movies you want to see, and you'll get your first DVDs in about one business day. Keep them as long as you want without late fees.
No matter how you look at it, Netflix absolutely revolutionized the way we consume entertainment. By combining both film and television into one affordable and convenient medium, Netflix effectively stumbled upon a gold mine. In the year of our Lord, 2019, Netflix has over 140 million subscribers. By comparison, its current largest competitor, Amazon, has around 100 million subscribers linked up with its Amazon Prime program, but it's thought that only 26 million of those subscribers actually use the streaming service included in a Prime membership. Assuming those figures are correct, that means that Netflix has 114 million more subscribers and has an absolute vice grip on the streaming industry. They've won, and it's not even close. They're like Emperor Palpatine, Macbeth, Scar, Julius Caesar. So they have nothing to worry about, right? Well, why did I use examples of dictators who ultimately lose their power, you may ask? Because that's possibly what could happen to this red streaming powerhouse. And I'm going to tell you exactly why. Take a look at the most watched shows on Netflix from 2018. You know what? Here, I'll show you. All of the shows in red are shows that are licensed to Netflix and therefore can be removed from the platform at the owner's will. In the number one spot, unsurprisingly, is The Office. Over 7% of all Netflix views go to The Office. And guess what? The Office is being stripped away from Netflix in 2021. Oh no, you only have 2 years to watch The Office for the 37th time before you have to subscribe to whatever streaming service NBC pumps out. All jokes aside, tallying up all of the shows in red equates to 24.36% of all Netflix views. That's practically a fourth of all views that go to shows Netflix doesn't even own. This doesn't even include all of the lesser viewed shows and the movies that Disney, Universal, and Time Warner will want to pull off of Netflix once their streaming services get going. The bottom line is that a good chunk of consumed Netflix media belongs to other companies. When all of these wildly popular shows and movies are inevitably taken off Netflix, it would be unsurprising to see their subscription numbers drop as consumers take their money to platforms with media they like. That isn't to say Netflix is entirely doomed in this regard. They do have some successful shows. Stranger Things, 13 Reasons Why, The Crown, BoJack Horseman, Ozark, and more headline some of the bigger shows Netflix owns. However, of all of these shows, I'd only consider Stranger Things to be a heavyweight property. Disney has a cornucopia of heavyweight properties to offer. Netflix has only Stranger Things. Now, will that be enough to keep your average Netflix subscriber on board? Especially when you...
Please, consider the phone.
Disney CEO Bob Iger said that Disney Plus would be priced aggressively. The man, well, he wasn't yanking our proverbial chain. Disney Plus will cost only $6.99 at launch and can be bundled with Hulu for $12.99 a month, which is the same price as a Netflix subscription. This is obviously a very attractive offer to consumers. Now, will most of Netflix's subscribers tell it that they're going out to get a pack of cigarettes, never to be seen again until 20 years later when Netflix finds them in a rundown alleyway, wearing rags and watching Disney Plus and panhandling for food or change? No, of course not. Why do you ask? That was oddly specific. But some will make the exclusive switch to Disney Plus. They can have access to classic Disney movies, Star Wars films and shows, Pixar films, the MCU and its accompanying television shows, and more. That's not a bad deal for $6.99 a month, honestly. And in my opinion, Netflix will have less for more. Sure, they'll have more shows than Disney Plus or any of the other streaming services, at least for now, but Netflix seems to just be shotgunning shows out. They'll launch a ton of shows every year in every direction, but most don't get any traction and end up canceled after one season. Hell, some of the shows that do gain a following get canceled anyway. Disney seems to be taking a more measured approach to producing shows. They have several MCU shows planned, along with the 7th season of The Clone Wars and The Mandalorian, and some smaller shows aimed more at young kids. I know what you're thinking. It is logical. Why doesn't Netflix just lower their subscription price in order to compete with Disney Plus? Well, they can't, because earlier this year, Netflix raised its subscription price from $10.99 to $12.99. They cited sluggish subscriber growth as they expected to gain 5 million subscribers in its second quarter, but only ended up garnering half of that. Additionally, there seems to not have been any significant expansion amongst US subscribers. The other problem is that Netflix spends so much money producing shows and films. In 2018, Netflix spent $12 billion on content, and it's projected to spend $17.5 billion in 2019. Yet they are not earning back enough money to justify the rampant spending. According to an article published on MarketWatch back in July, the revenue growth Netflix is seeing is 50% slower than the expenditure growth. That's not what you'd call a healthy business plan. Thus why Netflix raised its prices in an attempt to mediate the situation. Netflix is really taking the saying, you gotta spend money to make money to heart. I mean, they've probably got it tattooed on their lower back. Yet even through all of that, I wouldn't necessarily say that Netflix is doomed. Earlier this year, and if you're watching in the future, this year is 2019, Netflix said in a shareholder letter that our focus is not on Disney Plus, Amazon, or others, but on how we can improve our experience for others. Very, corporate BS, but let's proceed. We compete with and lose to Fortnite more than HBO. When YouTube went down globally for a few minutes in October, our viewing and signups spiked for that time. Sure, they could be feigning apathy, but I actually believe this. Sure, producing shows really runs up the bill and puts Netflix in debt, but in the long run, it could be profitable. Especially if, now this is a big if, it's always a gamble, but if some of these shows that they produce can gain traction and popularity to the height of, say, Stranger Things, then Netflix will be in a pretty good place. It could end up being like television networks. Netflix may have a couple shows you like and Hulu may have some too. Maybe people will be fine to be subscribed to both. But for those who are more inclined to save $1 or $2, there will be a choice to be made, and Netflix may not always win. Either way, Netflix will be okay for the foreseeable future. Disney Plus estimates that it will have 60 to 90 million subscribers in 5 years. Netflix currently, as I said earlier, has 140 million. It will take a while for the other platforms to catch up. There will be bumps along the way too. Don't expect Disney Plus to stay at $6.99 for very long. It will almost certainly go up as Disney Plus gains ground on Netflix. Ultimately, I think Netflix will lose control of the streaming market eventually, but I don't think it will completely crumble. Netflix isn't doomed per se, they're just doomed to lose their status as the be-all end-all streaming service. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you notice an improvement in audio, that's because I am currently recording this from under a blanket. In summer, it's really hot. It feels like I'm in a tanning bed in the middle of Death Valley. So I'm going to take this blanket off and I'm going to go take a cold shower. But thank you for watching. Leave a like, subscribe if you want. It's totally up to you. And let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Is Netflix doomed or will it persevere? Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm Zach and I'll see you on the next one. Bye!